Hey everyone. What we're going to do today is uh, a jig and hare. Um, it's a different take on a jig and pig. We got warm water coming up now, so uh, this is going to be relevant right now. This what we have in the vise is a quarter-ounce football jig. It's weedless. It's got a hole there, as you can see, um, with a 3/0 32 893 hook as a O'Shaughnessy bend, and that's just my preference for this type of jig. I'm going to use it to drag over shallow rock flats. Um, this is on the finesse side of things. Instead of using a plastic chunk type trailer or a rage craw or something, we're going to use rabbit hair, but we're still going to have a full silicone jig. You can do this on any type of head you want, a round head, a flipping style head, but I like to keep these types of jigs around a quarter-ounce, no more than 3/8 ounce. So we're going to start here with some 210 flat wax nylon. Once we get our base there, I'm going to cut that off. And then I'm going to continue wrapping all the way down right to that hook point. That's where you want your thread to lay. And I went ahead and what I did was I took a zonker strip, a regular one, not a cross cut, and I cut 2 tails off of it. Now where I'm going to put these 2 is how far I want my trailer, so to speak, how far back I want it. Now this could be as long as you want it or as short as you want it. However you like to fish a jig and pig, however you like. Some people like to thread on the chunk so that it's more compact. Others like to hang it on that it's further back. That's what's going to gauge how far you're going to put these rabbit strips back. So me, I like to have it about 1.5 inches behind. So I'm going to just put 2 securing wraps on that one. And again, the back hair of your jig is what's going to be on the bottom. So that's where you want your leather. You want your leather facing the bottom half. I gotta put my second one on here. Make sure they're centered. And when I get them right to where I want them, I'm gonna wrap it up. Now you see I have those longer pieces up here. I do that because it's more secure. I ain't got to worry about, I won't have to worry about these strips pulling out if I get stuck in some kind of cover. They're on there secure, so I like to give it a little extra. And depending on where you get your rabbit zonkers, they can be pretty expensive. So now that I got that part done, now I'm going to take another rabbit zonker. And you can get fancy. You can even put flash in this, but I don't. Not for the type of jig it's going to be. But you can if you want to. This is one of the few that I won't. I won't use flash. Get it started and move it up out of the way and begin to wrap. And what you're going to do is you're going to wrap this just like you were tying a complete jig with just rabbit hair. You're going to wrap it, but you're going to stop here right at the ring. This is going to be act as a body. This is going to be your trailer body. Is if you threaded a soft plastic craw up on top of your jig. It's going to act the same way, only we're using hair. Now that I got that, bring my thread back down. tie off my rabbit zonker. And the same way, when you cut your rabbit zonkers, try just to cut the leather and then pull, because you don't want to squared off cut across there, because what will happen is you'll lose that nice little piece that extends and it won't look natural. So now we have our rabbit body and our rabbit tail. Wet your fingers, push this hair back, and now I'm going to take, since this is black, I'm going to use black silicone strips. This is, I like using this with this type of jig. This is called BioSilk. You can use round rubber if you like, or regular silicone. This BioSilk, it looks and feels like rubber, but it's silicone, so you don't get you don't have to worry about the melting next to the hair or anything, which that is a problem with rubber. Okay, a couple securing wraps, and I have my first. This is going to be 44 strands for this size jig, and I like, even with the 3/8 ounce, I like keeping it at that. Let's see, I want to keep them pretty tight. I don't want a lot of gap, because this is going to make it look like it's pretty full, even though we only have 44 strands on. Oh, I'm having a little difficulty. I apologize for that. Okay, now I got one tied in there. Put my second piece in. Get it to go halfway around. Then I'm satisfied with the coverage. I don't want any real heavy spots, but I don't want any sparse spots. It looks pretty good. So now I'm going to start tightening this up and making my collar. Now you're going to have to move your hands around and pull your silicone out of the way. It might take a little bit, but take your time and you'll come up really nice jig. These are, when they're finished, you'll come out of this just perfect, because it's not that hard. It's just one you have to take your time. You don't see jigs like this in the store because they're so labor intensive, but they're fun to do. And if you live in an area where the water gets hard, you can do these all winter and do the smaller hair jigs that I do, and then you'll be armed for the spring, summer, fall, winter. Be good to go. Oh, a little piece of, what is that? Oh well. Okay. That collar looks pretty good to me. I'm going to take my whip finisher here. I wish I had a bigger one, because it gets caught in the silicone, but it works. And I'll do the same like I always do. 6. And it looks like we're free from everything, and we'll draw it tight, cinch it, and I'll do 6 more. You could stop there, but I feel better just doing it twice. And you can see I have to stick the silicone in between the thread here on the whip finisher, because my whip finisher is a little too small for doing this type of work, but it gets the job done. I just have to take my time. There we go. Now I'm going to add some head cement. And because it's silicone, I'm using this Loctite brush-on super glue, which works really well. And for those that never seen me do this before, the reason I like the super glue is it doesn't leave a residue when I'm tying silicone versus hair. With hair, I use Sally Hansen's Hard as Nails. And the reason I use this specific brand of super glue is twofold. Number one, it's thinner, so it penetrates the threads fully. And number two, it doesn't set up right away, so it lets it get down all the way through the threads. Some super glues, as soon as it hits the threads, it's hard. This stuff is perfect, and it comes, being that it comes with a brush to apply it, just makes it that much better. Now I have, after I have my thread sealed, I'm going to pull my silicone ends here. I'm going to trim them off. And this jig is finished. Let me show you what we have here. All I got to do is glue the weed guard in, but I want you to see what this looks like before we go ahead and do that. Let me put it in something that you can really get a good look at it. Get some light on there. There you have it. Your basic jig and pig, but it's got a rabbit hair body to it and rabbit hair legs. Your trailer's built in. It'll stand up, and when the football head works well, works extremely well right now. When your water's just getting warm, that pre-spawn period when they're, a lot of times they'll get in a funk and they'll be a little slow. This is when the silicone and rabbit work really good together. He said it works fantastic in the water. I wish I could show you that. But give it a shot. Let me know what you think. Thanks for watching. Sorry about the bad video here. Still trying to get used to a newer camera. Thanks for watching.